Hi, MGBC junior high Sunday school class. Your wonderful teacher asked me to make some videos about life as a missionary. My name's Kristen Russell. My husband and I, and now 3 of our kids, are missionaries to the Philippines. And it is the first beautiful day since we've been back in January. We had very unseasonable weather here. The whole month of January was windy and rainy and kind of cold. Today is just what I would call a typically beautiful day for January or February. It's not hot. It's like 80 couple degrees, but like not sweaty, awful hot like we get most of the rest of the time. And the sky is a beautiful shade of blue. This is my backyard. We live right near the beach. I'll take you out here and show you the beach. We live just about a mile from the Ati community. They are all, the folks that we do ministry with are all squatters. So we can't live where they live because technically they don't really have 100% right to live where they live. They don't own where they live. They don't control it. So we have a rented house nearby. Our landlord has a little house here, little simple house that she built by the ocean. The neighboring lot is kind of been left go, and there's a neighbor house here beside us. Don't have a lot of privacy, don't have a lot of control over the surrounding area. This road comes in from the main road, and then there's some folks that live behind us whose path is really right beside our bedroom window. But we can't really be picky because there's not a lot of places available for rent for families. And so even though we were a little maybe hoping that we could find a different place to live when we came back this time, I think the family has kind of decided that this is where God has us for now. We've been here in the Philippines since 2012. And this is actually the very first house that we lived in on the mainland. So God called us to the Philippines, actually through a guest speaker at MGBC. It was back before Momentum Ministries was Momentum Ministries. They had teams called Operation Barnabas, and there was an Operation Barnabas International team. This goes back probably before you guys were born almost, but they made trips to some places overseas. There was a couple of African trips, and they came here to the Philippines. And that is actually how we first found out about the work here in this area. We'd had a heart for the Philippines for a long time. Some folks from Martinsburg Grace Brethren, like the Jeffreys and the Colberts, had made trips over to Mindanao and done some work with tribal people there. But that work is very remote, and we had a big family, and we just felt like that wasn't what God was calling us to do. Well, we found this work here where we are, and the coolest thing, we were here less than a week. We came to help build a Christian school on a tourist island, and we were introduced to a tribal group on the mainland, and we instantly fell in love. We love living on the mainland. It's not all like peopled up with tourists and a lot of congestion on the tourist island. It's like living in the Cove, kind of, but living in the Philippines version of the Cove. And rice fields and carabaos and mountains, and that's where the Ati tribe lives. So that's how we first got involved with the Ati tribe. We have been assisting them with church planting, discipleship of young people, medical outreach. They are an ethnically distinct group. That means that they are genetically different than what we would call Visayans or non-Indigenous Filipinos. They are dark skin. They look African almost. Short stature, curly hair. And so the tribe is ethnically distinct, but also discriminated against, to be really honest. There's the local community doesn't have a very high opinion of them. And so one of the aspects of that has been just a lack of ability to avail of medical services. Like when we first came here, there were options for people to go to the doctor. Some of them were even free, but the people were intimidated. They didn't know their birthday. They didn't know how to spell their name. The people at the offices were mean to them and disrespectful. And so people would literally just not get treatment for things that were treatable and then die. So some of the missionaries that were here 10 years ago started helping people go to the doctor, help them learn how to work the system, how to take advantage of the things that the government provides for their indigenous people, and help them overcome some of the racial discrimination that they were facing. And so we do still help with some medical things now, but mostly it's emergency cases. Like we've got somebody in the provincial hospital that's about 2 hours away, needed a surgery. We help with things like that, but we're trying to help them be more independent and be able to go see a doctor on their own without our help, be able to get the medicines they need without us having to buy them. And that's a process. It's taken some time, but that's one of the things that we've done. And it's been a really great way to get to know people. You know, when somebody has a problem in their family, somebody's really sick in the hospital, maybe dying, they're open to building relationships, and it really has helped us get to know a lot of families in the community, and help them understand God's love for them by having people here to help them.
Hi, I'm Luke, and my normal day here in the Philippines is usually just school. I'm graduating this year, so I'm just trying to get stuff done so I can go back to America and start my life there.
Hi, I'm Matthew, and I'm in 7th grade. After school's done, I usually hang out a bit, sometimes go to my friend's house, shopping a bit to get some groceries. But ministry-wise, people show up at the house all times of the day. We have people with medical emergencies or people who need work, and we try to help as good as we can. So that's what we do.
Much like central Pennsylvania, the Philippines is a heavily agricultural area. We grow a lot of rice, coconuts, and other fruits and vegetables. Unlike Pennsylvania, we do not have a very large sum of dairy cows. We do not have a Richie's dairy here because of our lack of dairy industry. So all of our milk is imported in cartons that look a little bit like this.